Welcome to ASAP Elite. Today's show is sponsored by Manscaped. Our next guest has been the epitome of excellence. Drafted 13th overall by the Philadelphia Eagles, he has consistently dominated the edge while illustrating professionalism and unquestionable leadership. Today, I get to go one-on-one with former Michigan Wolverine and hero of Super Bowl 52 from my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, All-Pro defensive end, Brandon Graham. What's going on?
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Thank you for coming out, man. I've been waiting on this. Everybody's been waiting on this since we've been promoting it, you know? Thank you for taking the time out. You know, I know you're about to get busy in a minute, you know? So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Look good, man. You looking good like you just left the weight room.
Well, shoot, I was yesterday. I try to relax on weekends. I don't really go crazy, but I might jump on that bike today just because I'm feeling good, like you said.
Would you do our audience the honor of introducing yourself by explaining how you were introduced to football, the journey through present day, and the role it's played in your life?
Well, you know, first off, my name Brandon Graham from Detroit, Michigan. Grew up on the east side of Detroit in a single parent household, me and my mom and my sister. I got two other sisters on my dad's side. I'm the oldest of all three, well, all of us. And yeah, man, like, you know, I feel like, hold on, say that question again. One more time.
How football was introduced. You know,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you say football. Okay, bet. I was just
how you were introduced to football.
Yeah. So yeah, living on the east side of Detroit, grew up. I'm the oldest of three sisters, and man, my dad introduced me to football, and you know, he took me out there. He put me in basketball and football, but football it seemed to be the one. But my first couple of years, I had quit the first year, but he was mad at me and was just like, man, I don't want you to, you know, start something and don't finish. So the next year I ended up going back out there and just playing for him. I had an okay.
Was that Pal? Was that the Pal?
Yeah.
What team would you play for?
I played with, it was called the East Side Giants at the time.
Man, I played the Giants when I was in Pal.
Oh, okay.
I played down here when I was younger, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, them boys, yeah, we ended up, he ended up sending me over there, and man, I just ended up playing that second year just for him. But by the third year, everything kind of took off because I started to learn a little more of the football, got better, and man, I'm telling you, I started to really see I could do something, you know, in the sport. And so, yeah, I went to high school at Crockett. I wanted to play my seventh year in PAL, but I was too big at the time. I was like 190 and the weight limit was 180. They ain't got the weight limit no more now though. But my coach ended up sending me up to high school when I went to ninth grade. He didn't want me to do my 7th year, and I went up to Crockett. My first couple years, man, you know, everything was a little, you know, it was a little slow. I was learning, but then by that after the third year, I had took off, and I got my first offer from Michigan going into my senior year, and that's when everything started to happen, where everybody want to, you know, send you offers and invite you down, because once a big school look at you, everybody want to see what they see, or want to try to figure out how can we steal that guy from this? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because how competitive it got once a big school came knocking at your door. But man, one thing I learned during that process, man, you know, you start like at an early age, it's like, man, you better, you know, start picking and choosing your friends, because, you know, certain people started to, you know, get mad at you because stuff wasn't happening for them, and you know how it goes. It just got crazy all of a sudden, and so. Yeah, but I ended up going to Michigan. Sure. I ended up, you know, staying there 4 years. My first year was a little rough, but I feel like it's just, you had to learn. As soon as you come in, sometimes it don't always happen like you wanted to every time. But I felt like I had some good vets in front of me, people that was trying to help me, and I was listening. And you know, I'm thankful for them even to this day, because it was just, you know, they showed me how to we work, but you start to see, when you see somebody where you aspire to be and you see how they work, then you see like, okay, I got to pick it up a little bit. And so that's all that really was. A lot of guys just gave me some really good knowledge, and God, of course.
Who were your vets? I was speaking to Lamar Woodley, and he mentioned Sam Sword and what he did with him, and how he helped him pass along. Who are your vets that took you under their wing?
So yeah, you said one of them, Lamar Woodley was there. I only played with him 1 year, but when I first came up there, I was with a guy named Rondell Biggs. He was a defensive end, and they had him just kind of watching over me while I was there. But him and Wood was real cool too. So I would go see Wood, and I'm just like, dang, this is Lamar Woodley. I know my daddy be talking about him and all that stuff, and he was hyped. It just made me feel right at home. From away from home, and so I think Lamar Woodley, who else I had? A guy named Tim Jameson, Rondell Biggs, Alan Branch, like the whole D line. We had a really good D line that year too, because we was number 2. We started off number 2 that year, coming in the top 5. Teams. Because we really had a great team that year. We ended up losing Ohio State that year. And we ended up losing the bowl game, but it was a fun year for me. I learned a lot, learned how to work, and yeah, Lamar was one of the guys that really stood out, even to this day.
So you go first round of Philly. How was that?
Man, first round, that's something you always dreamed of going, and it wasn't no easy road. I could tell you, it was just. I feel like it was a focus that I got towards the end of my college career, where I was like, man, if I really stay focused on some stuff, I could probably make it. And I just wanted to get drafted. And I knew I said first round, but when it actually happened, man, it was like a dream come true. And the first thing, it's like, man, I want to make sure I take care of my family, make sure everything good. That was number one. And second, just wanted to make sure that I was gonna come in and be who I was in college, so that they could, so that they can feel good about me. And then of course, you obviously want to make money, so you got to make sure you're playing good. So that was always one of the biggest goals too, to make sure I'm playing good, so I can get where I'm trying to go.
Yeah, good thing is you got a few contracts under your belt, so you were able to gain some wisdom. Through all that experiences. So let's touch on that. During our previous conversation, you brought up the importance of decision making. It's usually the product of a choice, that often defines our character, pretty much. When during your career did you realize it was necessary, and how did you go about implementing those life changes?
Well, when I first started and I first got that check, and not saying it's gonna be perfect all the time, but it's like, if you striving to get somewhere in life, or get wherever you're trying to go, you gotta at least put in that work first before you could even start to enjoy the fruit of it.
Yeah, no question. You also mentioned, trusting your self-conscious, following that God-given intuition. Explain that theory.
Yeah.
The first mind.
Yeah, that first mind, man. My grandma always say that, baby, make sure that you stick with your first mind, because if you battling something, that means you already had the answer. You just want what you want, and that ain't always good either. And so, go with that first mind, and that's usually God talking to you. And so that's how I try to carry that, even in times where I want to get mad about something, and it's like, no, I know I ain't supposed to be like that, but I just take a break for a minute, because sometimes, man, people piss you off, and it's just like, I can't let them get me out of being who I am. So I got to make sure I take a step back in certain situations, or, I can always come back to it if I'm not ready for it right now. And so that's what I had to learn too. I don't have to answer everything that pop up. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have an answer for it. Sometimes you just need to take a break, take a step back, before you answer, if you choose to answer. And so I think, just for me, I always try to make sure that I stick with that first mind, because, man, it's we all could be selfish at times when we want certain things, depending on what it is. And when knowing myself, And I know when certain stuff pop up, it's like, nope, you did the right thing last time. Keep on doing the right thing. You good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a never ending story, because of course, you know, the devil definitely gonna know where your weakness is at, and he gonna always try. And it's never gonna stop until you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, it's just whenever I know that moment came up, it's like, no, I'll go with that same thing you did before. You know where you end up, you know where you ended up making the wrong decision. So it's just like, all right, come on. You know what I'm saying? And certain stuff you already had that experience, but sometimes you still think you could be slick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to try to make the best choices you can. You ain't gonna be perfect, but just know you already had the answer, and you would be sick if you had to go back and be like, dang, man, I should have just did this. I should have, you don't want to have no regrets. So that's why I say the first mind is always the right mind.
You know, a lot of times, you know, we talk ourselves out of that first mind, you know, second guessing it, you know what I'm saying? Try or overcomplicate it, you know, and end up, you know, in the wrong, you know what I'm saying? Or ended up like those guys that you said that you played with that could have been in the league. You know, it's definitely avoidable, but I guess it's something that you have to train, and you have to trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like a self-affirmation thing. That's how I see it.
Yeah, you know, you really do. You really gotta always be yourself, and then always be okay with whatever decision that you choose to make. Because if you own your decisions, as long as you're not making the same mistakes, I feel like you a better man from it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't own it, and then you keep on making the same mistakes, boy, you in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm telling you, for me, I wasn't like, you know, I was owning some stuff, but I wasn't owning everything, because it's like, nah, that ain't me. That ain't me. Is it? But that's you, because you make the choices start to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? The choices you make, it definitely start to show you what you got on the inside of you. You know what I'm saying? What you really love and what you don't. And so I think for me, going through just a bunch of stuff in the beginning, and stop and learn how to not be a people pleaser. Because that was my thing. I learned that about myself. Like, man, you out here just trying to please, you know, everybody. Everybody ain't your friend. But you know, I know for me, I'm here to serve. We all here to serve each other. And so I think when I go with that mindset, I try, even when people don't have that same mindset as me, it's like maybe here to learn from me. I always try to flip the situation so that, one, I don't get mad at the situation, and I become out of who I am, you know what I'm saying, from letting somebody take me there. It's like really everybody just on a different page sometimes, and you got to know that too. You got to know everybody not going to agree with you on every little thing that you say, or you know, you might know the answer, they might not, but they want to stay ignorant to it because you're trying to tell them, and they still like whatever. Like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, this is what it is and all that. And it's just like, that's okay, because everybody got their right to feel how they feel. And so once I started, you know, learning all this stuff, man, it's just like, it's on me to take it in, or it's on me to just keep on just saying, forget it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is. Like, people be knowing the answers to certain stuff, or had had people in their ear about certain stuff, but it's gonna be on you to make sure that you take it in, because we can't make the choices for you. And so, yeah, man, that's why I always try to own my stuff, and move on. Try not to make the same mistake twice if I can.
One thing I figured out, like I say, when I was on those same streets as you, same neighborhoods as you, same areas as you know, same probably spots going out, you know, even in A Square, you know, from Detroit to Inkster, you know, but I realized that it was more important for me to learn what and who I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because who I was forever evolving, and I was chasing that person. But if I know what I'm not, you know, said I'll be able to steer away from you know, who I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And situations that I won't get in, that's uncomfortable, or you know, or irrational.
Yeah, and that's crazy you say that too, because you're right, man. Like, even now, still trying to figure out, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, I know majority, but it's like, like, what am I evolving to? What am I, getting to? And what's my goals? And like, what do I want to leave behind? Do I want to leave anything behind? I mean, like, that's okay too. It's just, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's like, man, just being able to own that, on who you are, like, man.
It's a metamorphosis.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like, and that's the thing too, is growing up, you feel like you know it all, or not even know it all, but you know some things. But as you said, you got it. It's a continuous evolution of yourself until you out here. Even when you get up, grown, old, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can always learn new things every day. And so I think, yeah, that's a big part of it. You're gonna mature so much. You're not gonna be saying the same things you're saying right now 5 to 6 years, I mean 5 to 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you are who you hang around. You start hanging around different crowds. You start to pick up some of the stuff that, even when I'm here in Philly, I ain't picked up that lingo, as much. But it's like, I see some guys, you start to hear some words come out your mouth, and you like, dang, I'm saying that because that's what we say with the team. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big one right there. You are who you hang around, and you got to make sure that you hang around these people that's gonna encourage you, or you guys helping each other, because it's never perfect, but it's just all about where y'all focus is on your life. Because man, it ain't easy, especially coming from where we come from, and you got friends that you love, and it's like, man, they're going down the wrong path, but you still want to, we still got to hang. We still want to hang and do what we used to do. But on top of that, he got some more duties he got to do because he out here in the streets, or whatever it is that he doing. And you sometimes can be in the crossfire of some stuff, especially if people in the streets. I know I had, my uncle, in the streets, and it's like, it's just like, man, you want to be around, but then it's like, how, when I know you full fledged, then, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so it's just, so it's like, you got to have a good balance of being okay with just when it's that time, like, look, man, I love you, man. This the consequences of what you do. I can't be around you as much because it's crazy out here nowadays, and it's like, you got to understand my point too. I mean, my view over here and what I got to lose with my family and all this stuff. And, I love you, man, but it's like, until you out of that business, it's like, man, I keep it FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? Or
the true ones won't bring that to your front door.
They won't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I could respect about him, because he understood, but that was hard for me to even say at first, because I had to, I had to figure out, who am I at that? Like, are you gonna stand for what you believe? You feeling already uneasy about some stuff. You're around anyway, so why not just say it? Like, and he understood. He was mad at first, but he understood. And he knew. I mean, he just didn't think I was gonna say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But for real though, you gotta be able to make them, like, 'cause that was my first mind telling me, man, you need to say something. But I kept on fighting, like, I'm gonna say it, and then I never said it because, I don't know if I was scared or not. I just growing up, we just never communicated like that. And so I just know now that's what I want to do, even with my family that I got now. It's all about your communication.
I mean, what you have going on, if you go down, the pyramid falls. You get what I'm saying? Bricks can be replaced. but if you go down, you know what I'm saying, the whole generation can fall. You know what I'm saying? Can falter. So make your own smart decisions. Like I say, and knowing who you're not is pretty much cemented. You get what I'm saying? That intuition is cemented. That's God-given, like I say, but that constant evolution, man, and finding yourself, bettering yourself. I use the analogy, I look back, I look down and I'm standing on a mountain of dead knees. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely, man, for sure.
Well, I ain't never heard it like that, but you're right though. Like, for real. It's like, you keep it dead. You know what I'm saying? Don't awaken it.
Hey, they was cold too though.
Yeah, they was cold. Hey, for sure. Well, I'm just saying, like, stuff that you learn. It's like, man, you know where it led to, where it got, where you know you got lucky on some stuff, and then it's like keep that junk dead
Yeah,
because
for sure.
you're a better man for it.
Yeah, my man. Hey, let's revisit Super Bowl 52. What was the difference of that team compared to teams of other seasons?
I think it's a choice first, you know, a decision, I say, to make sure that you make it about when we come up in here in the facility, it's about ball, and it's about like learning each other, so that in the moments of pressure, you know, we always resort back to, you know, our training and the love that we show, you know, as a work relationship, you know what I'm saying? And we know we got a goal of winning the championship, especially when we in here and our actions, you know, going towards that. And I think the year we won the Super Bowl, it was a lot of fun, and it just happened naturally. It was just guys just, you know, just really was just there to have fun and work hard. And I think you know, we gained some lifelong friends, you know, through it. I think that a lot of guys just came in with that mindset of, man, I'm just gonna do whatever I gotta do, because you gotta make that choice. I can't make it for you. But I think our coach put a great atmosphere around us, you know what I'm saying, of just making sure that he always talks about, you know, why are we here? What are our whys, and what's the goal? And like when things pop up, you need a great leader like that. When stuff is wavering a little bit, let's put it back in. Let's talk about it. You know, call people out on their stuff sometimes, because that's what you need, even from the top of the guys that's playing good. It's like, look, man, I need you. I need you to keep doing what you're doing. So don't get comfortable. And I think we had a bunch of guys that just had chips on their shoulder that year too. A lot of guys wanted it, and man, they wasn't gonna be denied. That's how I felt, because man, the way when our quarterback went down and Nick was coming in, it's like I can just tell that we wasn't going, we just didn't care who was there, because we still going. And we just so happened to have a good backup too, because Nick Foles definitely was he still is a great quarterback. And I think you know, it just worked out perfect because of our attitude. And it was like, man, and what I'm feeling this year, I'm feeling like the attitude is good already. And now it's just all about us just going out and putting the work in. Now I want to see when things get heated or get hot, how we handle that pressure, because that's when I really knew we had a good team. Because even in the media, when they tried to get us to talk about each other or say something about what happened in the game, or this one person messed up on this play, it's like, no, we all in this thing together. And I think it's just something about that togetherness, man, that is like, we can't let the outside world pick and choose when they want to, you know, corner people. We got to be able to be there with them when they try to corner guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, that's what I learned, man. Just gotta have everybody on the same page as far as this is why we doing what we doing, and this is what you said. This is your goal for the year. So whenever I see you not doing what you said you was gonna do, I'm gonna hold you to your word.
Accountability, baby. Accountability.
Accountability for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one of my favorite values, you know, in this game, you know, is a direct reflection of character. You know, who you are comes out on this field. You know what I'm saying? Your lack thereof of character. You know what I'm saying? What you need to work on. It'll come out on this field. You know what I'm saying? In clutch times, clutch moments, you know. Saying that, did you receive any self-affirmation, man, after rising to the occasion, you know, in the game's biggest stage?
Oh, you know what? I felt like I belonged there because I worked my ass off to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I knew I was still battling. We are still battling to get where we're going. And I think that was just a great highlight in my life, because I never got there. I never even got to the end of the year at any level to even play the last game. So to get to the Super Bowl, the ultimate one that you dream of making to when you make it to the NFL, and you actually go out there and win it, man, and then you make a play in there that decided, you know what I'm saying, the ending of it. And man, I couldn't have dreamed it up, even better, man. It's all love right there. Yeah, I see the shit back there. Yeah, I like the setup.
Yeah, man, my man. Yeah, hey, I was at the crib going crazy.
Yeah, I know. Hey.
Yeah, hey, I was conflicted though. I was kind of torn. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For obvious reasons, because time. Yeah,
I know. It was Michigan on Michigan crime. That's what they said.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that. I saw that. What you just said and how you answered that kind of takes us back to our last question with metamorphosis and evolution. You get what I'm saying? Now you know you can't be broken. You know that you're supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's you walk different, you talk different. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody take it away from you. Not just I know, not just they know. Self-affirmation. What I found out that was just more important than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I found that out on my journey also. With those traits that you learned from those experiences, how do you feel that they'll translate in life after football?
Well, you know what? You just said one right there, man. Talking yourself up into something other than talking yourself out of something. And it's how we talking to ourselves every day. It's being true to who you are in every situation, because when you talk about being negative or having a negative attitude, it's gonna pour out negative. Like it's gonna show in your heart because that's how you talk to yourself. And I feel like that's the most keyest thing that you can do is talk life into yourself, because you're the only person that's talking to yourself after somebody talk. I don't care what somebody say to you. It's either on you to take it in, or you can block it and say, nah, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what that is sometimes, like, when you be around people, I'm guilty of it sometimes, where I'm Mr. Positive all the time, but then people will hit me with, man, you always positive all the time, man. This ain't like, you don't know what I'm going to do and all this little stuff. But I'm like, man, you know what? Well, why would I beat myself up even more than what the situation already is saying, that, like you through, if you look at the situation, but you still here. You living, you breathing. But it's how you accept or don't accept like what's going on. It's like, nah, you know what? I messed up, but hey, it didn't kill me, so I'm on to the next, because all I can do is start the healing process now on whatever it is that I've messed up on, and it's on you to keep on carrying that. And I think for me, man, I always try to make sure, even in situations like if I have a bad game or something like that, it's like, man, it ain't the end of the world. Like, man, it's something that you needed to learn from that. It's not gonna always be you're not gonna always win. Sometimes you need to lose to get set up for that big win that you're gonna win at the end. And I always try to flip my mindset on not just trying to go with what the world says, and try to go with what I believe and what I can change myself. And yeah, man, like if I feel like I had a bad game, I'm just like, hey man, I just gotta go work a little harder. But I'm not gonna take away from this time with my kids after the game because I'm mad because we lost and I stunk it up or whatever it is. It's just like this is the blessing right here, to be able to have that support when I am going through it. And if I do need to talk about it, I can talk about it with them and get it out of my system, so I won't talk negative to myself. So yeah, man, it's just you got to try to flip it. You got to try to flip your mindset, especially when the world wants you to be negative, especially to yourself.
I'm a little bit older, and just a tad bit, I remember my championship run, same situation, that one championship, getting there for the first time in my life, and making that clutch play. And once I exited out the sport, there were instances, in life that we go through different trepidation and such, that me making those plays, it assured me that I can make those plays later on in life when my back is against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, look at that Super Bowl, and how you played and how you came up, like I say, when your squad needed you, when you face that later on in life, you're going to make the play. You know what I'm saying? That's what BG is, you know what I'm saying? You're going to make the play. You'll never lose that, ever.
Mm-hmm. You're right, because millions of people are watching you, and millions are depending on you to go out and play hard and get and man, it just becomes second nature, because you train every day for that moment. And so when I do lead this game and how it's gonna help me in life is just train every day, one day at a time. Whatever it is that like take whatever comes your way and deal with it because as it comes. And I feel like when you try not to look too far ahead, because we don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow, but all I know is I'm here today and I can whatever pop up on me today, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to make sure I value my time and do as best I could without being on my phone all day or having distractions that could take you away from when your moment come. That you could be ready for. So I think, yeah, man, that's gonna serve me well to be able to in pressure moments to know like, man, it can't be as worse as when we was at the Super Bowl. So it's like, come on, man, like, it's not that serious. Like to get out your head about it. And sometimes you gotta snap out of it sometimes.
Hey, that's a great share.
Because you when you live in the moment, you won't miss what it is that you need to focus on right then and there, thinking about the future already. Because say if I'm just using an example, Drake or somebody hit you up and you are in the rap game and you just so hyped that Drake hitting you, oh my goodness, Drake, and then you just already thinking about the future of what and you start saying, hey man, I know, did you listen to this? And you not taking that moment to you thinking about the future of what you think is gonna happen from him just hitting you up. But it's like, man, you haven't even heard what he said. So it's like, how can you know how you gonna move if you ain't taking the time right now you about to miss something. You need to sit back and just listen. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm guilty of that.
I know, but we do, because I get overly excited real quick. And it's like, I know that about myself. So I try to calm myself down and be like, deep breath, B. All right, it's cool. These people knocking on your door. Let's see what they want. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's when I kind of reel it in and be like, okay. And then maybe it might be something that you thought was gonna happen now that you've met that person, or maybe it might be just a little baby step. And you like, all right, well, I'll deal with that. All right, one step at a time. He want me to come through so he can meet me and do all this and see what I'm about. All right, man. But I thought he wanted to work with me right away and I thought he was ready to go. But it's like, no, he want to take little baby steps. All right, bet. And you just don't know what you're gonna learn in that and how much game somebody will give you or how much game you will learn just from any situation. But if you already thinking too fast, then you're gonna miss that moment. You're gonna miss it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say, like, try to enjoy the moment, because you already planning for the future. You don't even know what's coming yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't even dealing with what's right there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you, man. So let's go to the role that family and religion has played in your life, inside and outside of football.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, with religion, I believe there is a God in this world. I believe we was created to serve and be here, to serve others and to live with God forever. And so, for me, I try to make sure I at least spend my time giving it to Him, because every breath we take, man, it's the little things that you tend to think about, just learning God's word and learning His promises. And I feel like even now, you always have to make sure that you, even if you start drifting, you got to come back, come back to, because it's a challenge every day. Every day, it's so many different distractions on trying to keep you away from knowing the truth about a lot of stuff. And I feel like God's word is right there for you. It's free. It's free for you, but it's on you to do it every day and to learn it and to apply it to your life. And I feel like growing up, my parents did a great job of letting me know it's God, but the habits that I needed to create of just going to church every week and being in my word every day, praying a lot, doing a little stuff, that was the part that we didn't do as good growing up. And I'm trying to change that now that I'm of age and I can make my own decisions. I try to make sure that that's number one in my life. And, I feel like, man, I've done a great job up to this point, but I know that, I have my days where it's like, man, I got to trust you, Lord. I got to trust you. I can't keep worried about this. I can't keep, and it's just talking about it. Like just talking to them about communication, learning how to communicate with people, and not being ashamed that I didn't learn certain stuff when I grew up, because that's just what we just didn't do. But now it's on me to change that, now that I'm aware of it. And it's just baby steps. Like, when stuff pop up now, when I didn't like something that happened, I find a way to come from a loving place other than trying to be right place. You know what I'm saying? Because when you right, but it's like, you know what? They made a mistake. All right. But I want you to at least acknowledge that you made a mistake, because at least I feel like we all owe each other that. And if I'm coming from a loving place, I feel like, man, it helped me be able to think clearer, and not react in a way, because I'm gonna make a mistake too, and I'm gonna want somebody to forgive me. So how can I not forgive them? And so that's part of my religion too, is just like, man, forgive people even if they do you wrong. And I know that's the hardest part. You gotta bless them. You gotta bless the person that then talked about you, did you wrong, and did all this. And it's like, God wants you to bless them, because revenge is his and all that, and for me, I want him to give me as much mercy as I can. So why you can't have mercy on somebody else? I don't care what they did. And so, boy, like, working on that, and just making sure that because that it's really about how we respond to stuff, man. Everything is how we respond. Like, when people's getting killed out here, it's like, man, people making drastic decisions in temporary situations. And it's like, man, this situation will pass, but you're gonna be sick if you make a permanent situation on a temporary situation. You know what I'm saying? A permanent action on a temporary situation.
Yeah, man, you have the blessing to stand in the exact same shoes, in the exact same place, the exact same, no, not the exact same jersey. It's been a lot of advancements as the Minister of Defense. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, right.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know if you thought about that, but what I'm saying, he rushed the same edges too. So that's a great role model to follow. So much information out there. So this strengthening those relationships assist in finding the necessary balance in life that you have.
What you mean? Say that again.
Strengthening your relationship, your relationship with family and religion. Did it help you find that balance?
Yeah, it do help you find the balance, man. It's like sometimes when you're kicking yourself, some people that I talk to, or my village of people that I talk to, them words that start to hit me in my head, just chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? They told you overthinking it. All right. You know what I'm saying? You know how like conversation that you've had with people, and then something just pop up in your head that somebody said to you. And it's like, man, I'm thankful that I remembered that I actually was listening on that. That's helping me right now, and so I think man, it's an uphill battle every day. Just even this morning, I put the Bible app, I got notifications every morning, but it's on me to click that button to go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that'd be the hard part. You set all these notifications, and then you see it, and then sometimes you don't click it because you're gonna go to IG real quick or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You start to see where your priorities are, and I think just trying to redo it all over again, to try to start over. All right, you know what? I didn't start so good this morning. Let me go pray about it. Let me go. But it's just, yeah, man, just knowing that you ain't gonna be perfect, but when stuff pop up in your head, it's for a reason. I feel like, especially that, whenever I say I want to live and have faith in God and want to live right by Him, and it's like when stuff pop up on my phone, for Him to, I feel like it's Him talking to me. Hey man, go pray, go do this, go look at my word on this. I think this gonna help you today. It might be for next week, but maybe you need to read it now, and you need to marinate on it a little bit so that you can be ready for when this time comes. because man, there's been times where I've been reading stuff that I was going through at the time, and then there's times that it didn't apply to me at that time, but when it did, I was like, man, I remember me reading this, and I remember saying a prayer about it, and I'm happy that at least that now I know I'm in that situation. Now I gotta trust God on this. Now I can't trip and react in a way if I say I trust God on it. I can't worry about it. I just gotta pray about it. It is what it is. I'm gonna stand on what I did. I messed up. I bet, Lord, I trust you. You know, I'm not gonna worry about this. I'm just gonna keep living every day, and I'm gonna get through this. And yeah, man, just talking about it, man. Just trying to talk in a positive way to yourself, because man, you're the only one that's gonna keep your mind right. And you got to work hard at it, and that's not always easy.
Hey, man, before we get out of here, you know, on behalf of athletes.tv, you know, we asked our guests to bless our audience with words of affirmation. The floor is yours, brother.
Well, you know, let's keep it what we've been talking about.
Right.
Always be kind to yourself. I say always pay yourself first. Because you the one working hard. As far as, you know, when you getting your money, pay yourself first and then save everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't work your butt off. Because I know for me, I used to always think of other people, and I never really had nothing for myself. And wifey was just like, why you just won't go get something for yourself? Why you won't do, you know? And so now I start, you know, doing stuff, you know, for myself. Whenever, you know, something happened. It ain't always got to be money, but it's just like, you know, man, like you work your butt off and you already thinking about, you know, trying to help somebody else, but you know, just enjoy your moment sometimes. Let me see what else I got. Always value yourself, your value. You know, it's man, people all the time talk about how, you know, we can't, like whenever we gotta buy from each other, like us, our you know, black people. Well, you know how I go. It's like when we always trying to, you know, buy from each other, we always looking for a deal. But it's like, man, why I can't be valued by some of the people that, you know, you go and buy $1,000 worth of stuff, and why I can't have $1,000 worth of you know, worth of things, or why I can't value myself at that mark. Who is saying that, you know, I'm not valued at that, if not more, because of what I put into it. I mean, you can't let people destroy your dreams, and I think that's part of just, you know, you knowing the value of yourself and the hard work that you put in, and just know that you're not gonna please everybody, but you should always value yourself. And then my last one is just always be yourself. Just be yourself, and be okay with standing on whatever self is, because you know you ain't that. Whatever somebody trying to get on you, like you said. So if they saying something, you know you ain't that, you shouldn't even give it no mind. But I know sometimes the way somebody say something to you, and I mean, it sometimes hurts you because of who it's coming from, but you got to know it's how we respond to it. Because if you don't give it no action, it's only so much that they can say before they can't say nothing. You don't give no ammunition. So make sure you always be comfortable with yourself and be yourself.
Man, this greatly exceeded my expectations, brother. What's up, man? I want to thank you for coming on, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go blue.
Go blue, baby. Let's go.